now there's now a different base for the right wing. It's not doesn't mean that they're all angels or they agree with us on everything. But look at Sean Hannity complaining about his own base.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder. They are throwing shade at the Young Turks, Ana Kasparian, as well as Cenk Uygur. They are reacting to an Hannity clip, and they start to say, oh, well, Hannity is one of the bad rights, but these new rights, they may be a little bit better. They may be more anti-establishment. Let's see what Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder have to say.
Max Lefty. Speaking of populism, Max Lefty. Sam and Francesca spoke about anti-establishment being problematic when you don't have an ideology. Can you speak about that? Yes. Because in one instance, if you are just merely anti-establishment, really what it is, it's daddy issues. I mean, that's what it breaks down to. And the problem with that is that you can fight the establishment, but then you create a vacuum. And if you do not have an ideology that is behind that anti-establishment, and by ideology, I mean a perspective on what you would do in leadership. Like, what is the programmatic ideological framework in which you would have government? Then what happens is if you fight the establishment and you win, there is a vacuum. And undoubtedly, some of the other anti-establishmentarians, they have a program. They have a plan.
It's easy.
And they have an ideology, and it's a right-wing one.
It's easy to be anti-establishment because if that were the standard, we are. Like, you know, we vote for I voted for Democrats. I encourage people to vote for Kamala Harris, and it didn't work out. But the point is just like, yeah, the establishment isn't working for people in the sense that our administrative state is going to be gutted by the Republicans. We have slashed taxes on the wealthy, and income inequality is through the roof because of neoliberal and right-wing policies. But if you're anti-establishment, what comes next? Ask people that. What is the next sentence? Okay, we overthrow the establishment, we achieve our goals. What do you put in its place? Because then you become the establishment. Once you overthrow the establishment, you are the establishment.
Look,
then what is the future that you're building? Because for the left, it should be focused on decommodifying the essentials of life, housing, food, healthcare, etc., making sure that we aren't slaughtering people abroad in genocides in Palestine and all that kind of stuff, making sure, bringing our resources home to our communities. That's our vision. So what is the anti-establishment vision beyond people just saying they're anti-establishment? Because that's just a branding exercise.
So here we have Sam Seder and Emma Vigeland. They are calling out the idea that, you know, you can't just be anti-establishment. If anti-establishment is all that is needed, then, you know, anybody who disagrees with the current way that things are going is going to be anti-establishment. You can't, that doesn't make you a leftist. That doesn't make you a progressive. That may, you may start to, you know, shift in that direction, but that doesn't mean that you are full on a leftist. As Sam Seder says it, he says that you may just have, you know, dad issues. You may have an issue with authority, and that may be it. But then once you get into a place of authority, you may be the same person that you hate. You know, that's what Emma Vigeland's saying as well. And they're really calling out that even though you aren't, you know, with the program right now, that doesn't make you a leftist. That doesn't make you any different from a regular conservative. That you are, you can still, if you have conservative values still, you are still a conservative. There's no need to get into this gray area. There's no need to say, oh, well, you know, they're starting to see the light. They're starting to, no, let's still look at it for what it is, you know. And obviously Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur have something different to say. Let's look at that clip now.
The era of inflation during the Biden administration has played a huge role in making it more difficult for Americans to afford basic items that they need for their households. And so, yeah, this is a huge issue. And I understand that rage. It doesn't matter like what your political identity is. If you're a working class American, you know exactly where the anger and frustration is coming from, and you know that it's justified. It's hard for someone like Hannity, who makes millions of dollars anchoring on Fox News, to understand it, because he's not hungry for anything, okay? He's good. So for him to sit there and fearmonger about populists is hilarious to me. What do you think, Cenk?
Yeah. So many things here. First of all, him saying, "I never got a tip from a poor person." Really? You worked at a restaurant and you never got a tip from a poor person? Like, what you think? Like, the poor people are some sort of like monsters, and they come into restaurants, but they leave zero tip? I mean, he's just such a jerk, and he has such contempt for non-rich people, and it oozes from everything that he says. So he's old school right-wing media, and one of the things I realized when I went on a lot of these right-wing shows is this is not the same right-wing media that we've known. In some ways, on social issues, they're more radical than even Fox News was. But on populism and economic issues, they're not at all where Fox News was. So what Sean Hannity is saying is classic old school right-wing media. The poor should shut up and know their role. You middle class, you should also shut up and understand that the most valuable people in the country are the very rich. We give you jobs, we give you tips, we give you everything. You should just be thanking us, okay? And that is old school establishment propaganda. Remember, right wing and left wing and Fox News and MSNBC is just good cop, bad cop. Establishment Democrats, establishment Republicans, good cop, bad cop. They're driving towards the same thing. The rich and the powerful should remain rich and powerful, and the rest of you should know your role. And so, to me, his statement there is proof positive that I'll just personalize it to me, that I was right, that there's now a different base for the right wing. Doesn't mean that they're all angels or they agree with us on everything. But look at Sean Hannity complaining about his own base. Say, what are you guys doing? You guys sound like Bernie Sanders. I told you.
Here we have Cenk Uygur and Ana Kasparian. They again are wanting to blur the lines of what it means to be a conservative and progressive. For what reason is still unknown. There's no overt things just yet. You could say that they are wanting to plan their move into conservative media. They want to maybe eventually become a Fox News, one of the good conservatives, one of the ones that just gets it. The one, not a bad conservative. No, we don't want to be old conservative news. We want to be these new conservatives that are really understanding, that's really wanting what's best for the people. It's like, give it a break. Just say that you don't know what you're talking about, don't know what you really want at the end of the day. You don't even want to pick a side, and you don't know what you're doing. Just simple as that. Say that, be out loud with it. But Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder are going to call you out still, and going to still stand on what they believe is the truth. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.